It's Fatty with Friends. I have a special guest today. One of my favorite people in the world.
It's Via.
So this Fatty with Friends. I have a special guest today.
It's Via. Oh, it's not even on me. It's Via.
Hey, this Fatty with Friends. We got a special guest today.
It's Via, y'all.
How you doing today?
Entrepreneur, all that,
What's going on?
What's going on with me?
Yeah, you just said some slick shit off camera though.
Don't even matter.
I said? You said you legally binded.
Yes, I am.
What that mean though?
With the Lord.
With the Lord.
With the Lord.
Not no nigga.
With the Lord.
Not no nigga.
Bartender, can I get another round?
Oh my God. Why you playing? No, for real.
No, I am. Yes.
We gonna leave it at that.
Yes.
All right. Because look, you
What's
pushing 30.
Oh, wait a minute.
Right? You pushing 30, right?
Who pushing 30?
You.
How old are you?
I'm 30. I'm not ashamed. It feel good to be this age.
You know what? It's nothing to be ashamed of.
Mm-hmm.
It's just the fact that I'm the baby.
How's that feel?
Being a baby of the
Yeah.
family. I love it.
Really? You don't feel like hella pressure? Like you got a lot to prove to yourself? Being like the youngest and everybody looking at you like you.
No, because
Yes.
there's people younger than me. And I feel like I still didn't go the right route. So
Why?
traditionally, I feel like I didn't go the right route.
But you can't say that because like you really a different person. People don't know you skipped grades very early. Like
Yeah.
like people might think something wrong with you. It is. It is.
It is.
But
It is
at the same
something
time,
wrong
you
with
really
me.
hella smart. Like you not
Yeah.
dumb. You really not like a dumbass.
I think for me, being I'm the baby, I feel like, of a certain generation, right?
But you
So-
also a big sister.
Exactly.
So you're
That's
not really
why I
a
said.
baby.
So I take on the role of being the baby and being a big sister and a big cousin. So for me, I'm in the middle of everybody. I'm in the middle of two different generations.
Yeah.
So yeah, I don't know.
New Year's we was talking, right?
Mhm.
I had spent New Year's with you and your moms and pops and sister and shit.
Yeah.
We had a long 3-hour, 4-hour drunk conversation.
3-hour, 4-hour drunk conversation. You including the drunk part is absolutely insane.
But it was more of like, my question really is, do you feel like you'll ever outgrow that ride or die spirit? Because like, if they know you a person that will take it there, and you a person that can't wait to take it there, like you've been holding it in to take it there.
So I'm gonna stop you right there because I can't wait to take it there is a little reach, especially because now I'm 29 and I'm pushing 30. According to you, right?
Yeah.
I'm almost 30, so it's not a can't wait to take it there because I don't ever want to. Even when we were kids, I never wanted to.
But you did.
Yes, I had to.
You had to prove that point.
It's not proving the point. It's more so of I come from a family dynamic where you don't allow disrespect.
Nah, for sure.
You know what I'm saying? So, do I ever feel like I'll get out of the ride or die
Yeah.
spirit? Yes. I feel like I'm out of it. I don't ride or die for dumb shit no more.
Nah, for
Like,
sure.
because I used to.
Like, what was some dumb shit you feel like you would ride or die for?
I'll give an example. I'm not going to sit here and say... let me think. What was dumb?
You know this is a safe space. This ain't no place where a motherfucker gonna judge you. Like,
I don't care.
yeah,
You know I don't care.
yeah, I
Judge
know.
me all you want. Thank you. I'll give an example though. Like, I'm not a yes man, right? But I feel like
You think for yourself, for sure.
I've never been a yes man. However, when it comes to certain people, I feel like I've been just, what is it called?
Taking advantage of?
Not taking advantage of. Like, I don't
Your kindness
see
for
nothing.
weakness?
I don't see nothing but red. If somebody playing with you or whatever, like, you know what I'm saying, I don't see nothing but red. But now that I'm older and I feel like I have a lot to lose, I can't do that. It has to make sense. Like the disrespect now has to make sense. And when I say make sense, I mean like consequences. My consequences when we was young was totally different than what it's gonna be.
So what's the difference between back then versus you feel like now? Because like you ain't got no kids. Because I feel like the consequences if you had quick kids would be a little different.
Why? Kids ain't got nothing to do with no consequences.
I feel like kids
you
got
going
everything.
to sit behind bars without kids, but you got family and you have never sat behind bars. That's a consequence.
Yeah.
That
true.
when I was younger, okay, I could have wrote that out if they would have gave me 15 years.
Yeah.
I am almost 30.
You
Can't do that.
You right there.
Can't do that.
You right there.
Can't do that.
You want some kids though?
Absolutely.
How many?
I used to want 4.
4.
I used to want 4 kids.
Why I feel like you want 100 now? Like 10?
No, it went down. It went down to 2.
What? 2?
It went down to 2. It went down to 2.
Ain't you a godma?
Yes.
Indeed.
A happy guy mom. That's why I ain't had no kids.
What does that mean, happy godma?
Because I feel like people be taking upon that godparent role. And, it's just, I don't know. It's different because I feel like a lot of godparents, just the godparents because they the best friend. Or they the godparents because, oh, that's my cousin. Or I'm the godparent because.
I feel like the way we grew up was really actually kind of like, we was kind of blessed.
Oh, yeah.
Do you agree?
Yeah, absolutely. 100%. I feel like I wish a lot more people grew up the way we grew up.
Yeah. Besides all the beatings.
I
think we had a great childhood.
Beatings?
Yeah.
I don't feel like we got beat.
We got discipline.
We got discipline. I feel like that's what's lacking in today's children.
You think so?
Absolutely.
But
absolutely.
I don't know. I'm starting to feel like we got to separate communication skills from anger and mischievousness. Because there's a difference.
As what the adults or the children.
Yes, the adults. Because I feel like it shortcomes the idea of, you're not supposed to do something, but you do it anyway. You're a kid out of curiosity. There's a consequence.
Yeah. But like that one time we all did something because it was a curiosity and then we all got in trouble for it.
Yeah.
You remember?
Whose fault was that?
Robert's.
We was walking from elementary school.
They told us specifically, walk straight home. And he said,
let's go to the store.
Missy watching us anyways. We might as well go to the store. Shout out Missy.
And what happened?
We all went back to the house and Grandmommy came back and we all had to stand in that line.
And what we get whipped with?
A wooden spoon.
See, that's what I'm talking about.
A wooden spoon.
But don't you feel like there shouldn't have been a lesson learned that should have been explained before? Like, hey, y'all go home and this is the reason why. It wasn't like, oh, y'all go straight home. Don't go nowhere else. Go straight home. But it wasn't like the value of going straight home or what's going on. There was a lot of miscommunication at that point as far as the meaning behind why we wanted y'all to go straight home. Y'all just wanted to see if we was going. They was testing us from the beginning. Why would you test kids like that? You shouldn't test kids. You should explain, hey, when I tell you to just go straight home,
do it.
Because there was times like, we think in the store, cool. We didn't walk from the house to the store.
We've been there before.
Exactly.
And we were all together. And I also felt like in that scenario.
Damn, you've been holding on to that trauma for a long time.
That ain't no trauma.
Nah, that was a trauma. Because I'm still mad at that little nigga for real. Got my
It ain't no trauma for me because I already knew what I was getting myself into.
Yeah.
Because I was still outside while you and the rest of them was inside. But what I'm saying is that yo, mama was watching us. So
we thought it was cool.
Correct. So my whole thing was when they first told us to go straight home, they didn't say nobody was gonna be watching us. I honestly think the trigger in our brains as kids was, well, Missy watching us anyway.
We good. She ain't
we good. Nothing. Because I feel like, okay, if y'all want us to go straight home, y'all don't want us to get kidnapped, right?
Yeah.
Missy watching this. How we gonna get
And it ain't like we ain't all stuffed into the
And
car before. So why
it's
are
like
they just
12
letting us
of
walk?
us.
Yeah.
It's 12 of us.
Yeah, so I
Correct.
don't know. That's what I'm saying. When you look back, that whole scenario of them testing us was kind of dumb. And they ain't gonna like that, huh?
They ain't gonna like that one. They ain't gonna like that,
That was
one.
dumb.
Let me go ahead and put me a shot to that one, cause yeah.
See, that was funny. That was just for them. I ain't gonna lie.
That was. You gotta put that.
Pull that shit up.
I haven't had Crown Royal. Oh,
I'm
you
good.
want some?
You don't want no soda?
I have juice.
Oh, all right.
You see my skin.
Juice, man. What's the 444?
On my wrist.
Yeah.
Time my brother died.
Okay.
Brother, cousin. Cause
Okay.
you know, all y'all grew up like my brothers. So.
Nah, for sure. How did that feel though, being the youngest girl? Then Chocolate Girl came along. Cause for you, it was just you for a long time with a bunch of rough ass boys.
I think that's the reason why I have my masculine energy now, as far as when it comes to certain things, because y'all were rough. Y'all was rough. But
fought.
we
fought.
I fought all y'all.
Yeah, we all fought whenever.
I fought all y'all. So when she came, it was not even when she came, because she came right after me. So it was not like she came, but again, I felt like I was stuck in between two different generations.
Mm-hmm.
Because technically, she was the baby, and she started kicking it with Mac.
Yeah.
The twins, and they're a different generation than us. They grew up with us, but they didn't grow up with us the way we grew up.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It was a whole different dynamic. So, being the only girl was cool, I guess.
What about being a big sister? Because you got hella siblings just like I got hella siblings.
And
our family is just hella siblings.
It's a lot of siblings, a lot of cousins, a lot of, baby making.
That's what I'm saying. Like, you feel like it's hella responsibility being a big sister as well. Because when it comes to your side, you are kind of just the big sister when it comes to all your siblings.
I used to feel like it was a lot of responsibility. However, I don't feel that way now.
Why?
Because I've realized the older that I get, the more that I try to help my parents, they still come in and remind me that they're the parent, right? So my whole thing is, if you're not gonna allow me to be the big sister,
yeah. You know what's crazy about that though? At times we do be looking at it like being a big sibling or the oldest sibling. You start to feel like the parent to the parent sometimes, don't it?
Absolutely.
But I think
Absolutely.
I think that's something that wasn't taught to us, that sometimes we have to take on that role that seems as if we're being the parent to the parent, or we're being the person that steps up and being the responsible.
Right.
But I think that's a cultural thing that we missing to understand for a lot of us in our black community in general. When I really think about how we grew up, I really do believe how we was raised was more of a I think they was in survival mode.
You think so?
And not necessarily, they was just doing it the best way they could do it. And
but you know what's crazy? I'll be honest. I think we were raised great.
No, I do too.
Like, again, I feel like other people should have been raised the way we was raised, because it really took a village for all of us. And like, I feel like we all are the way we are now because we went through that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. But we got lucky, is what I'm saying. Because I feel like when you look back, we could say that everybody was just doing the best they can with what they had. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like the different social roles that each person had played that was over us. We was really getting raised out of, like, you know, them little pictures they would have when the white man or the little character would cut a piece of his jean, the mom would cut a piece of her shirt.
Yeah.
And then you got this little kid that's patched up.
Yeah.
So basically, I look at it like that. Like, they patched us up with everything that they had, and that was all they had. And I'm starting to realize that now as we get older, that's really kind of how we was raised. They gave us everything that they had and did the best that they could. Even though, I mean, I ain't gonna take away that they could have done better.
Right.
Because they did the best, but they did make the best of.
They made the best of their situation.
Of what we had.
I was gonna say, do you feel that our parents as children, when we were kids, do you feel like the reason we were raised as a village was because they were in survival mode? Like, they had to survive. Yeah. So the best thing to do was to come together as quote unquote siblings, because our parents are, everybody like brother and sister.
And it's definitely a lot of big age differences too within all of them. But no, that's exactly what it is. There was a trust that, regardless of what we feel about each other, that like we gonna make sure these kids is good. I trust you with these kids,
right?
And I need your help with these kids. So that's why I respect it. Regardless of whatever family issues that's there, it's kind of like
right.
We was our family. You feel me?
Exactly.
And it was based on the survival.
Yeah.
All of us. You feel me?
Imagine. I honestly wouldn't know what we would have done if we weren't raised like that. But again, like, that's all we knew. That's all we know to this day.
For sure. What would you feel like you want for your kids though, when you ready to have your 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6?
I think
because I do believe it was so many of us that I feel like when you really get ready to have one, you can be like, nah, I want another one. Because then I feel like you're gonna be you out of all people would be the person to be like, I have so many memories, good memories that I want to experience this with more of my mini me's the best way I can. Even though the reality is you might not be able to really experience everything with them how that we was experiencing life, but I do believe once you start, I think I'm gonna continue. You gonna continue for sure.
They call me Mama V, but I feel like I want my kids to be raised how we were raised, and I say this all the time,
like the
and
sports,
I feel like the nights
where everybody
one auntie pick you up, or whatever the case is, and I feel like also that's why none of us have had kids yet. Because we all deep down inside want to raise our children together.
A specific way too.
Specific ways. How, not per se exactly how we were raised, but that village that we had was like,
when I look back,
top tier. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, when I look back though, I'll be like, some of them whoopings kind of probably was worth it. That's why we got whipped. Oh, you think?
Ain't no.
It's just a whooping.
Hey,
fuck it, we gonna eat that candy.
No, fuck
we
that.
We gonna go in that drawer.
I got whoopings for dumb shit though.
We all did.
So
that's what I'm saying. That was another flip side.
Like none of my whoopings were good enough.
They weren't justified.
No, except the one when we went to the store.
What other unjustified one did you say you got whooped for?
When I fought.
Fought who?
China.
About what?
I don't know what we fought about.
You just got whooped. I
got whooped because I fought.
You don't think you was a bully though?
I never bullied nobody in school. They bullied me. Let's talk about that.
She was so much.
Let's open up those can of worms.
Because you was so much of a boy that I feel like you had some bully traits in a way.
You know what's crazy?
You had to, like, it was naturally on you to be.
I don't think it was.
It wasn't a bully. You just had them boyish ways.
Can we pull up the definition of a bully? Because I honestly feel like I was not a bully. I've just always been assertive.
Pull it up.
Assertive and there's a thin line between being assertive and aggressive.
You was aggressive for sure. You had no choice.
I grew up around all y'all.
That's what I'm saying.
So that's what I'm saying as well. So if I'm a bully, blame yourself.
Yeah. So.
Cheers to that.
Do you bully your dudes? Well, I don't want to say dudes. When you in a relationship, do you bully the person you in a relationship with?
No.
Are you aggressive with that person?
I would say probably like back in the day, I probably was like aggressive because I didn't understand that there was a thin line between aggressive and being assertive, right?
Yeah.
So I'll say back in the day, but now I don't deal with someone who lets me bully him.
You do have your way and you have fun though when you do, huh?
No. Cause
I really be like, man, whoever dealing with V is
strong.
Good luck. Cause if it was me, she would have been kicked out of my house or punched upside her head.
But as knowing me my whole life, Why do you feel like that? Because, and then also knowing me
I'ma
my
tell
whole
you,
life,
cause
how do you feel that I'm that person now?
because it's some shit I probably should get slapped upside my head about.
Oh, I'm just the one that's gonna do it.
Yeah, so
That's
it's like,
basically what you're
I'm
saying.
like,
So
yeah,
like niggas
she
fuck
not
up,
finna
right?
play with.
I don't play with nobody,
Yeah,
but I don't
exactly.
play with niggas because of who?
I don't know.
Y'all.
That's what I'm saying.
I don't play with niggas because of y'all. I don't play with nobody.
But sometimes, don't you think that it's like probably like a guard you probably putting up to protect yourself in a way? Like,
Yes.
do you ever find yourself vulnerable nowadays? Like getting older, isn't it harder to be vulnerable?
Yes, absolutely. I feel like it's harder, but then it's a little bit easier too because I understand my emotions more as a woman. So
Ain't that scary too? At the same time, knowing things that'll break your spirit.
Oh,
Versus like when you was younger, you probably was like,
you never knew.
You just happened to go through something like, damn, I didn't know that hurt me that much.
Right? Yeah. It scares me, but I'll be honest. Like when it scares me, I pray a lot. I will literally cry to God and give it to Him and be done with it because I know it may hurt me. Right? So my whole thing is the only way that I'll be able to find peace is if I pray and I give it to God because I know that no weapon formed against me is gonna prosper.
Especially if you veer.
It's gonna form. I'm not saying
sure.
it's not gonna form. It's gonna form, but will it prosper? And when I look back on my life and the things that I've been through, all the weapons have formed, but nothing has prospered. So like I think I find like peace in that. So like yeah, it's a little scary to be vulnerable with everybody, anybody, but the older I get, I think it's easier for me.
What about forgiveness? Is forgiveness something that's been hella easier for you now that you get older? Because I do know one person out of all people would be you to be like, nah, fuck that person.
For me?
Yeah.
Forgiveness for me, it is. It's a little rocky, depending on the situation. I think it's dependent on the situation and what happens, and it also depends on the person. So I'll say this, for example, I'm able, and people, I don't care. I'm able to forgive a friend quicker than I am to forgive a family member.
Because the motherfucker know better.
Because you should know better. You my family. You shouldn't do me like that.
And you know, like
we were raised together. You know me my whole life. You're supposed to have my best interest. So my whole thing is, as my family member, why would you even think of doing something like that, right? So yeah, I will forgive my friend before I forgive my family member.
But that's like,
for sure.
It's like it's like a hard thing too, because then you're supposed to say, you supposed to know better, but because you're my family member, I'm supposed to forgive you, right?
Correct. That's not the way it plays in my head, though.
How it play, like
you
it's
my
fuck
family,
me, then it's fuck you too.
You my family member, right?
Yeah.
You do something shady or whatever to me. It's like you my family. My friend only been knowing me for a certain amount of time,
They still learning.
They're still learning. You're my family member. You're not learning me. You know me. You've seen me grow up. You've seen me through different stages. You've seen a lot of things of me.
You know stuff about me
that don't nobody else know.
But at the same time, like as I get older, right, I start to look at life and realize a lot of us is suffering. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And a lot of us can't outgrow that suffering. And a lot of people live life thinking that they're suffering and don't know that they have control over their suffering and believe that they have to blame other people for their suffering, you know?
Yeah.
So that's why I kind of be like...
Yeah, for sure. I don't play the victim role.
No, for sure.
Yeah.
Like,
and I tell people all the time, either you're going to lay down in it or you're going to get up.
At what point, though, did you realize a lot of people victimize themselves?
Oh, I realized that at a very, very young age because I could have played victim to my situation when I was 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, going through what I was going through personally in my, whatever. So, I don't know. I think a lot of my friends... I went through a lot of shit.
Because I remember... What?
I went through a lot of shit. It ain't no feel like I was going through. I actually went through it.
No, those was feelings at the end of the day. I'm not saying that the experience wasn't
Yeah,
factual
yeah,
or
yeah,
not.
yeah,
I'm saying
yeah.
the feelings like you becoming a girl to a woman, and
Right.
then you
Right.
moved and lived in different places.
Correct.
Like
I left my village.
Yeah, you experienced a lot of different things at a lot of different times.
Right.
So it's kind of like I can only imagine like
I went
how
through.
you see things.
I saw things differently, and my whole thing was,
Why is everybody doing it to me?
No, I never really said why. I've never really asked why for anything in my life because I feel like everything happens for a reason. I've always.
I think you should
that.
always understand why.
No, because there's not really a why to certain things though all the time. There's not always a why.
It's always like a thing, like a effect though of something else.
Well, yeah, it's a lesson in everything for sure. So I guess that's the why. But me personally, when I was going through what I was going through, it wasn't a. Or maybe I did say why. Is why am I here? I think it was more so for me though. Why did I get taken away from my village? Mm-hmm. I was the only one who left. Technically.
And it was probably a situation where you wasn't like in control of it. Probably felt real powerless.
Couldn't control it at all. And it was to the point to where I would say I was just like, I was trying to get out of it, but also I was going through so much at the time that I couldn't say exactly why I was trying to get out of it. At the time, I felt like it wasn't the right time, and I honestly feel like a lot of
you just didn't know how to communicate it.
No, yourself. I knew exactly how to communicate it. The problem is that I feel like timing is everything. Mm-hmm. So at the time when I was trying to get out of my situation, I could not because I could not tell the full story without something consequences.
So do you feel like because your village wasn't there that you wasn't able to have that confidence? Because when you was around us, you always had that confidence.
Yeah.
You didn't care to tell on nobody. You didn't care to punch on nobody. You didn't care about what nobody said. You was always Duchess. You always had like, rather we did our own thing or not, you ran. You made it be known. Whether you ran it or not, you ran the show. You feel what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it's kind of like that's what I'm trying to get.
I think that's what it was. I was
people
taken
to back you up.
I was taken out of my element of the people that were going to protect me, not even back me up, protect me, because I wasn't protected when I left. You know what I'm saying? So
from like all the boys you probably dealt with, all the mishaps with friends,
in the house, the mishaps in the house, I wasn't protected. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like if my village was there, it would have been none of that would have happened to me. So none of that would have happened.
How you prepare that for like your kids when you do have kids? Because I feel like that could be a trauma that scare you from even choosing the person to have kids with. When you look at your experience and you be like, okay, because
you look at people's backgrounds, you look at their family history, you look at how they were raised, you look at their mother, their relationship with their mother, their relationship with their father. But not just look at it. Be in it. You know what I'm saying? Sure. You gotta be in it. You have to understand how this person was raised, how this person grew up. And I feel like a lot of people didn't grow up with the morals and the values that we have, right?
We have some stronger ones though. Because we came from like a more reliable community. Regardless of what was going on. Whoever bickering, they still gonna come through for the kid.
As much as you say, I think that our parents were in survival. I don't think we were raised on survival.
No,
I think we were raised on love.
Yeah.
As far as us though, like our generation, for sure. I feel like they were in survival mode, but we wouldn't have known that until we got older to understand what was going on, right? Now I feel like we were raised on love because why is everybody still close? Why do we all like when we get together? It feels so good.
I think things would have been different if I would have looked at things different because I know I was a kid that was angry all the time. And yeah, for sure.
You never gave me that though.
Because
you were always so quiet. Always so quiet.
Exactly. I didn't want to play. I didn't want to.
No, you didn't. No. That's not true. But like you said, I kind of brought everything out of everybody. You play with me.
Yeah.
You didn't play with everybody. Just like Herman. Herman didn't play with everybody. Herman
I feel like
me.
if we would explain, if they had communicated more, like, we don't have it. Like, we don't when we was kids. Because it seemed like we had it all.
I was just about to say, I would have never known, though.
Like,
even if
even though we all shit, like you know, in my household, at one point it was 4 boys in one room on 2 beds.
Yeah,
on
I remember
bed.
that.
And then it was 5. Then it was 5 boys and 4 in one room and 1. So it was kind of like, you don't understand. I feel like I felt the pressure of what they was feeling. Yeah. As far as our household. Yeah. But I didn't understand that. Oh, like, we don't have it. Like, we don't Section 8.
Right.
We don't.
Right.
The problems is because the resources is slim. And then, but when we all came together and everybody gave like that little bit of something. Right. That the resources was cool. Like, the resources was there. Or it seemed like it was there because everybody putting in a pot, and the pot always seemed bigger when we came together.
Exactly. Right.
And we didn't know.
You're stronger together,
Yeah,
though.
we didn't know who didn't have it because we always was all together.
True. But you got to think about that too, right? You're in a room, 4 y'all, 2 beds.
We don't know that.
2 families where I'm at.
So that doesn't seem like
2 separate whole families, but it never seemed something out of the normal.
Exactly.
For us.
It seemed like something normal till you get older and you realize, oh.
I would never live with my sister and her kids.
Why? Why?
It ain't for me. But also, I'm the oldest. None of my sisters are old enough to even be in my space like that.
I also feel like the lifestyle is probably different now versus what we grew up in. Because I wouldn't even think any of your sisters really experienced what you experienced dealing with all of us.
No. But you know my sister has a baby.
No, I know.
Yeah. So.
But she didn't really get to experience what we grew up.
She was a baby.
Even the younger twins didn't get to experience.
Zarfar.
Yeah, they didn't even get to experience.
No, they only got to experience certain ones, like certain cousins.
They didn't get to experience all the stuff, the sleepovers,
the parties, the bobbing for apples.
Yeah, the ketchup on
ketchup
the face.
and the mustard on the face. Yeah, no one
waking up eating
that.
Cake 3 in the morning. Everything, the bullshit.
The lights off at 8:30.
Yeah. The video games till 6 a.m.
The Herman has only the blue controller.
It's a lot of good memories that I feel like the younger generation necessarily didn't get.
Correct.
And
they didn't.
Probably if she experienced what she experienced, she probably wouldn't even have a baby right now.
No, she wouldn't.
She probably wouldn't.
She wouldn't.
I mean, I don't know what she got going on for real.
But that's what I'm saying too. So like my sister being my little sister, right? This is my first sibling technically that I've had to take not control, but like responsibility for. So it's her having that baby is like.
How old is Nyla now?
21, 22.
When she have her baby?
She's 22.
But she was grown.
She had her baby. No, she had her baby at 17.
Oh,
16,
she did?
17.
So she repeating some shit
cycles
that she didn't need to repeat.
That she didn't need to repeat, and I feel like.
And this ain't no offense. If she watched this, we ain't trying to down you or nothing.
Not at all. It's a conversation. It's more so I feel like I blame myself.
Yeah, so I was going to ask you, do you feel like
being
you should have been more
I
of a
blame
support
myself.
system?
Yep. Because I feel like if I was around.
See, I be feeling like my youngest brother, Lil Terrell, would probably be the one to have a baby before everybody.
You think so?
He's wild. I ain't gonna lie.
I was gonna say his nickname, but I don't know.
Oski. I don't know where he get it from, but he's a wild little boy. But
wild?
Yeah, he's definitely wild.
I don't think he's wild. He's just living his life. He's young.
He's having fun.
Exactly. What were we doing at his age? Exactly.
Nothing. He ain't doing what we was doing. I tell you that much.
How old is he?
He about to be 21 in August. That's crazy. Right?
I wasn't doing nothing at 21. Believe it or not,
I did it all before 21.
Yeah, exactly. I did it all before 21. By the time I turned 21, I was cool. And then, like, 22, 23, I started.
So you feel like you failed, Nyla?
Oh, failed? I wouldn't say
because
failed.
You had, like, an expectation of what you seen her to be. You seen her potentials. Yeah,
All of
for
them.
sure.
But for sure, for her, absolutely. I don't feel like I failed her because, again, I got out of the big sister mommy role. So I'm just big sister. I don't feel like I failed. I feel like
Did
the
she
parents
want?
failed.
Did she want a kid though? Is that something she had always wanted?
I don't really know because I left.
Because I know for
I
you,
left at a young age. When she was young, I left when she was 10.
Because I feel like you probably look at her and you're like, I just want you to really enjoy your 20s like I'm enjoying.
I want you to enjoy your life.
Yeah.
But one thing I told her when I found out was, you see, your sister don't have no kids. I was 23, 24 at the time.
Mm-hmm.
And I said, you see, I ain't got no kids. You think this for play?
Yeah.
Life
we
is
learned
not.
at a young age already by having younger parents that it's like, they taught us that already, that nah, you need to enjoy your 20s.
This shit ain't for play. No,
Yeah.
being an adult is not for
It's
play.
not.
This shit is tough. So what I told her was, just be mindful.
Of who
Not even of who you dealing with or whatever. Just be mindful if this is what you want to do. Because as a mother, I feel like you really have to set aside, even if you have a village. Our mothers were still mothers. Our fathers were still, you know what I'm saying? Like, we still had that, like, everybody had to play their role.
For sure, though.
Yeah, they had to play their roles. So I just told her, like, think.
Good luck.
No, not even good luck. Think. And
Nah,
she said she love her baby.
That's all that matter.
And that's cool.
But
I'm
at
a
the
love.
same time,
That's my baby. That's my papa. But now
there ain't no village like the village we came from, though.
Exactly.
It's
and
not like
none
that
of
no
us
more.
from the village that we were raised in have kids yet, besides Robert.
Yeah.
But look at that.
You got Timmy. Timmy got some kids.
Oh, they both have to. But even then, though, look at that.
Yeah.
They not kicking it.
Yeah.
I feel like our parents were having kids like back to back.
Yeah,
and
but
I feel like that's
they
what I
also
wanted
started
to be.
hella young too, though.
True.
So, like, do you got a time frame of when you have some babies, though?
Yes.
Until you be like, I'm not.
I do have a time frame. I'm not going to say no unless I'm like almost 40. But even then, nah, I don't think I'm going to be almost 40 because I know when I'm having mine.
10 years, mama.
But I know when I'm having mine.
When? You pregnant?
No.
You sure?
Uh-huh.
That's not a yes or no.
No, I'm really not pregnant. I promise you.
Okay. She is drinking, huh?
Exactly. Sorry. Like, what the fuck? It's Crown Royal in this cup, baby. Nah, but I plan on having my trying within the next, I'm gonna say year. Because I do want to turn 30, turn up with my village. Mm-hmm. And then, I feel like, because y'all all just turned 30. So I'm the last one to turn 30 technically. So I want to turn 30, turn up with my village, and then, I can start.
I ain't gonna lie, the older I get, I feel like the more I appreciate life. Yeah. And it is kind of scary, like.
To bring a child into that.
Yeah, because, like, I'm vibing and I got this momentum. And it's kind of like I could sometimes be irresponsible when I shouldn't be. But at the same time, like, I was saying this to somebody else. Like, even though your sister had her baby, right? Mm-hmm. She don't really necessarily know probably how blessed she is. Even though she don't necessarily keep in touch with none of us, or we ain't keeping in touch with her. Like, at the end of the day, like...
Right.
She got something to stand on regardless. If she
village,
ever really just
need it.
All she ever had to do was just like reach out and be like, look, I'm in this situation. I need this. I'm gonna come out there and I want to try and start off fresh. Like, it's people that'll really take her in.
Do you think so though?
I believe so.
I
believe
like
you would take her in.
Duh. I tried to take her before she got pregnant.
See?
Like that. A year before she got pregnant.
But I think being away is her being in her own choices, her own ways.
She wanted to come with me.
Oh.
She wanted to come with me. Again, I'm not the parent. I can't do much.
I don't know the parent dynamics either, though. So.
But also, it was just more so of, I felt it. I was in it. And I felt that you guys were not in the mental space as parents to parent. Let me take her. Great job, benefits, all the things. I'm doing what I gotta do. I want to say she was like 15 or 16. 15 or 16.
And she just
and they were like, "Oh, I don't care about the money. I could take care of her on my own. I don't need no." I was never gonna go to the court. Just have her come out here with me while y'all figure out what y'all gotta figure out. Solely and simply because now I'm at the age to where I know mentally in a relationship and you going through some shit and you got kids. I ain't never had no kids, but I can only imagine. You got a motherfucking teenage daughter, another kid, and 2 boys. You know what I'm saying? So that's a whole different dynamic we've never experienced.
That's another thing, though. I think it's okay to really have other family members that's able to take it.
Do that.
That's a part of the village for real.
Yeah.
Regardless of what a person think. Like,
I think I don't know. It's like I don't know what it was with them. I don't know if it's because I left and they thought I was trying to be on some other shit, but it was that's my sister.
Not like you was probably trying to turn her against them or something.
No, it's my sister.
Yeah,
nigga,
exactly.
Let me take her. Nigga, that's my sister. Let me take her, get her. She was gonna go to cosmetology school, hella shit out here.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Swear to God, I stopped talking.
It sounded like it hurt more than anything, though.
What, with that? Hell yeah, because I saw it before it came.
And
I think that's what it is.
Like, I feel like me and you could relate on that level because you the oldest.
Yeah.
And I'm pretty much the oldest. And it's like, you got this thing inside you that you want to guide and protect.
I don't
as if you're a parent, but you're not a parent. It's like a sense of responsibility. That it's like, damn, I'm supposed to
watch out
put
for
them
you.
on. Yeah.
You're not supposed to do the shit that other people doing or what I did. Exactly. That's my thing with my siblings. Like, you're not supposed to do what I did or what other people did. You know what I'm saying? Because we got friends that did some shit that we ain't did.
No, for
so
sure.
It's like, you're not supposed to do that. So that was my thing. I saw it coming. A year later, she pregnant.
You was gone for how long?
I left my sister when she was 10.
Did you not?
I left her when she was 10. She got pregnant at like 15, 16.
15,
one of them, 16, 17. One of them motherfuckers. I don't know.
Whole ass auntie out here.
Whole ass
pushing
TT.
30.
Whole ass TT with no kids.
Man, but
the rich auntie.
You got mom to the kids or?
Yes.
And like, what's that dynamic like? I know y'all dynamic of y'all relationship is, y'all sisters pretty much.
Yeah, brothers
for sure.
We call each other brothers.
But like, when it comes to her kids, you pick up wherever you feel like it's needed, or is it kind of like whenever she asks?
What's crazy is she's such a great mother.
Yeah,
I don't have to pick up.
Yeah,
and that's the honest to God truth.
And that sounds like you really appreciate her. As a person in general.
I appreciate her as a person.
There's admiration there.
She's such a good person. She's such a good mother. Mm-hmm. So where it's like, I don't have to pick up. I feel like my godparents had to pick up on certain areas of my parents. I don't have to pick up when it come to them. She got them to the fullest. So anything I do is extra.
Does that seem like a lot to you though? Like a lot of shoes to fill that you see somebody that you care about and you're like, damn, they doing their thing, and then for you, it's like, damn, I might have some kids, but damn.
No, I feel good about it because you can help me.
Like, I'm fucking up.
Yeah, hey, help me. She might have to pick up where I slack off, and I don't have a problem with that though.
Yeah.
Like, it's not an ego thing for me when it comes to raising my kids.
No,
and I feel like a lot of people have ego when it comes to raising their kids, especially our generation.
Like, yeah,
they got an ego. You can't tell me what to do with my kids. Don't pop my kids. Don't yell at my kids. Okay, but if your kid is fucking calling me a bitch, what I'm supposed to do?
Slap the shit out
exactly.
of it. For real, who the fuck is you talking to?
Exactly.
Little nigga.
Exactly.
For real. Toast to that.
Mm-hmm.
Nah, but
But nah, she's an amazing mother. Like, honestly, I tip my hat off to her all the time. Because we the same age. And I couldn't imagine.
You smile like she would just be making you proud. Like
She does.
that's good.
She makes me proud as a
good.
mother.
It's definitely good to see somebody who's like has that much energy towards another person. That's like I really.
Cause I love my people.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I love my people. Like, if anybody was asking me about you and the things that you've done, I brag on you all the time. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh, he used to, huh?
I ain't know that.
No one knows. There's nothing to say.
Yeah.
But I do.
Right.
I brag on all my cousins. Yeah. People ask, it's people that came like, oh, I didn't know that was, your folks. I'm like, yeah. Mm-hmm. He done did this. That's him. Yeah. That's him. I brag on all my people. I'm proud of all y'all. Cause I feel
Do you feel like we proud of you too, though?
Absolutely. Y'all should be.
Why?
Look at me.
You was an idiot.
Look at me. Look at me. And it's not look at me in a vain type of way. What I'm saying is
not to see where you was.
To see where I was to where I'm at
it's
now.
It's a lot of growth, a lot of maturity, a lot of.
Yeah.
I don't know. When we was kids, I used to feel like, man, this girl's too conceited with her. She's full of herself.
Conceited?
Full of herself.
Who start calling me Duchess?
But
blame it on them. Shout out to
at
Bama.
this point, I'm really happy that like you hold your head high.
Right.
Because it's times that people will probably see you and don't know that you really be going through some shit. Mm-hmm. And through it all the turmoil, you really still just sit there and like be a black woman, the face of what a black woman is.
It is to be a black woman. Yeah. I honestly, I'll be honest with you. What's crazy is I was just talking to Rodney the other day. I feel like I am the reason why y'all hold on to black women.
Yeah, I'm gonna be honest. I don't see myself with any other race.
Even
me being half Mexican,
that's what I'm saying. Yeah. What I'm saying is, I feel like I am the reason why
we gotta protect our black women, just like we protect our Via.
Thank you.
Feel me?
Y'all Via. When y'all see another black woman, y'all think about me. Because if I'm being honest, a few of our folks started off dating them.
Huh?
They started off dating the YTs. Mm. And they turned it around. Mm. You know what I'm saying?
Explain.
You want me to name drop?
If you want to, I'm trying to understand.
Sad Daddy and Herman was dating white women before they started dating black women.
Hey, my boy Herman
and
got a black
he has
queen.
A black queen
he
now.
He got married.
He ain't been with that was his first one. And he married her. Hey, shout out to Brian Herman.
You know, I cried at that wedding.
We all did.
That was the second time I had cried in 7 years. I cried at that wedding. I cried the other day.
Why did you cry the other day?
I was joyful.
Oh.
Just like I was joyful at the wedding.
Oh.
And I had to post it. I'm like, yeah, they're going to talk about me, but
Oh, I love that.
Because I'm really blessed.
Yeah.
You feel me?
Yeah.
Through it all, I'm really blessed.
Yeah.
Somehow I keep getting on top. I'm on top all the time.
God, it's nothing but God.
Man, I'm beautiful.
I tell people all the time, it's nothing but God. Like, not like that. Like, I do what I do. You know me.
Yeah.
I've been a wild card. I've been outside. I've been doing this. And God, everybody always asks me, how did you become so mature? How did you become like this? How did you... And, I'm still not even there to where I want to be as a woman, right? But I feel like I became the way I became because of God. And God came into my life, honestly, my mama. Mm-hmm. My mama instilled that in me. And even, Grandmommy and Annie and them, we used to be in church. We used to be in church all the time. But it didn't hit me until my mama. My mama was such a prayer warrior. And when I started to see my mama life just turn around for the better, after praying and crying and pleading, that's when
I want to give it up to her, man. No, he real supportive too, though.
Oh, absolutely. That's my dad.
Like, one thing I say about Big Pun is,
shout out to him.
Shout out to Big Pun.
He is a great man.
He's a great person.
He became my village when my village was gone.
through it, anything. He with you through it all.
Yes, he is.
Regardless.
He is.
And that lays
He
me like
is.
a lot of respect for him.
Yeah, because you know
He
it's
gonna
crazy.
take it on the chin, even if I could tell, even if it's wearing him down, he gonna take it on the chin.
He is.
And that's one thing I respect because me, I'm not gonna let any situation wear me down.
Yeah.
And I think that's my problem when it comes to women right now. It's like I sit there, I know where you at, I understand where you at, and then I try and if I feel like the little tools I give you to better yourself or like get you out of a situation or to show you the path, if you can't comprehend, then it's not for me. Like
okay, so if we're gonna get into that, my question to you would be, why? My whole thing is, if you love a woman, right? First,
it takes time to love a woman though.
Do you believe in love at first sight?
No,
I do. Maybe that's the disconnect then. That would be the disconnect within my next question because I believe in love at first sight.
Why?
I believe. What do you mean? Why? I'm an energy person.
Okay.
I can feel you. I can feel your energy. But that's why I believe love at first sight. Because I can feel you. And if we feeling it, not even if we feel it, if I feel it, I talk to God so much, God will tell me. I know when that's a different time for a different, you know what I'm saying? Because I know.
It's more of like the expectation. Like, I want who want me. And
you can't do that.
No, yes you can.
You, as a man?
As a man.
You want who wants you?
Yeah.
As a man, you supposed to love her more than she loves you.
I'm going to always love myself.
You love yourself.
More.
What I'm saying
I'm going to always love myself more. Because I know that at the same time.
That may be the disconnect.
I'm the one that's going to keep us safe.
Do you believe in tradition?
No. We don't have no tradition.
Who is we?
We.
Who the fuck is we?
Us black folks don't have no tradition.
Yes, we do.
What's the tradition?
I don't know, man. I'm creating my own tradition, I guess.
That's
because
what I'm
I ain't gonna lie, a lot of relationships that we seen younger, I don't know what happened.
Well, like how many is? I'm gonna be honest. In my eyes, your mom and Pun probably the most successful.
Really?
Yeah.
And they went through a lot.
They still here together.
You know why? Tradition.
What's the tradition?
Family.
No, I think they love each other.
No, they love each other, but it's family at the end of the day. Because when you look at your partner as a partner and as a family member, it begins to be a different dynamic in what you're doing, how you're treating them, and how you go
and
forward.
how long you able to stick with that person matters too.
Exactly.
So through time, certain things become like, okay, at this big age, which is not really a big age, because I've been told by a lot of people, you still a baby, you still young.
Yeah, we're still a baby.
So when it comes to the pick of the litter of women that I have access to, like I've had access to women, I'll never say, oh, here versus up here. But I dealt with women from all classes of life, right?
Right.
And through it all, like I've had a woman who was down for me all the way. But what I noticed at that person, they'll sacrifice their own happiness. They'll sacrifice their own security. They'll sacrifice from even if I made dumb decisions. I've tested a woman to see. Let me see if she gonna let me do some dumb shit.
That's your problem. Why?
Now, that's when I was younger. That's when I was younger, right?
Why are you testing?
When I was younger, I allowed a woman to test to like, okay, you gonna let me do some dumb shit, and you don't really. I want to see if you care. I just want to see.
You want to see if she's a Via. Is she gonna be assertive enough to say, "Nigga, you're dumb"?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Is this weak? Is this fly? Is this?
Yeah.
And I don't know. Maybe now that I'm older, I'll start looking at what's that scene? I'm just a girl. What you say the other day? I'm just a girl. Some things ain't for us men to understand, right?
It's just like it's nothing for a woman to understand when it comes to y'all.
Yeah, so I do. Now that I'm older, I do feel like some women want to just be in la la land with their nigga and be okay and be okay with the dumb shit that they do and just like, oh, I accept that. But I don't want a woman that just accept anything with me.
Correct.
Because it's not about my expectation ain't for me either though. Like
you think
I'm
about
single.
like your future kids and
That's
how
my
your family's gonna be
expectation.
raised? Correct.
My expectation is if I do all this X, Y, Z, I'm not loving the woman for me. I'm loving the woman for what my kids gonna have to grow up if something happens.
Correct.
You know what I'm saying?
Are you gonna be able
So
to still instill discipline, instill you don't want a yes woman.
Exactly.
That's all that is. You don't want a yes woman.
Check me about how to be better.
But you know why? I bring it back. The village.
The village.
The village.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna solely base my my assertiveness on y'all. Came from the women in our life.
Yeah.
They were all assertive.
For sure.
You wasn't getting over on them.
No.
So that shit came from
and that get on if they
hello. And they will leave your
ass. We ain't gonna go there.
Yeah, exactly.
We ain't gonna go there.
And they'll leave your ass.
Yeah, but
so it's not just growing up around all my boy family. Yeah. It's the women
we did
that
have
raised
strong
me.
Women for real.
They're still strong to this day.
Might
Them
still
bitches
be,
don't play.
They
Sorry
might
to call
all
y'all
be
some bitches, but you bitches.
They might all be a little loopy, but
yeah, that they are.
Feel me? But
they don't play.
But that's my main thing, though.
That's why you don't do that, though. But I understand. But what I'm saying is, that's why I said when you asked me about, dealing with the person and how to know if you want to have a baby with that person. You gotta look at their family. Not to say that everybody was raised like us, right?
Yeah.
However,
and I do now that I'm thinking about it, we was raised kind of rare, like how we was raised.
Very rare. I found someone who was damn near raised the way we were.
So it's a problem.
If not the same, huh?
So it's a problem.
It's no problem. It's no problem.
You the problem, huh?
No.
You be pushing the limit.
I be testing waters.
As far as what? You just want to make sure that what do you want?
No, it's more so, I'm not like that, no cocky shit, but I think I'm what every nigga want. I do it all. I'm a jack of all trades.
Good for you.
Jada all trades.
Good for you.
Yes.
I'm proud of you.
Thank you.
You know that?
Thank you.
And this Fatty with Friends, we're going to end it here because this is my cousin. She a little cuckoo. And I hope y'all appreciate tonight's conversation.
Crazy.
Before we end it all, though, Via.
Yes.
What do we need to let the people know as far as your point of view on life and their trials and tribulations, and what's your take on what they should be doing with themselves, or what works best?
What works best
for you? If people look at you,
yeah,
and people feel your vibe, and like if they feel like they relate to you, and they're like, they could be younger, they could be older, and they can say, I see myself in that person. How do you?
It's nothing but the grace of God. I feel like a lot of people take advice from the flesh. And the flesh could be your family members. However, everyone is not always going to know exactly what you're feeling, what you're going through. The only person that will know, not even a person, the being that will know is God. Pray. Pray, pray, pray. Get in your Bible, read. Of course, you can ask advice as well. However, you need to be asking advice from someone, I feel like, who also has the same spirit and aura from you. I'll be honest, ever since I've been in my Bible and I've been praying to God, my aura is completely different. I've had people walk up to me randomly at the grocery store and say, like, your aura is crazy. Like, you're so pretty, or you're so beautiful. And I think that beauty is within. It doesn't have to be the outside. It's within you. And that's what makes me beautiful now. So, yeah. That's the only thing I can say. The only advice I can give. Pray. Give it to God.
That's where you feel like it's been your best investment so far this year. It's probably been
getting closer to God. Getting closer to God has been truly the most amazing thing I've done. I'll be honest.
And that's Fatty with Friends.
Fatty with Friends.
Until next time.